right here next to us. She is a woman that went for her dream when the opportunity presented itself. And so for the purpose of this interview, I am going to call her Stacey. Sweet Stacey. What is Sweet Stacey and why Sweet Stacey? Why that name?
Sweet Staceys, I came about the name because I did want to include my name on my brand. And all of my desserts are sweet, and I'm a sweet person. That's what they tell me. So it came about, Sweet Staceys.
Okay. And so Sweet Stacey is the owner of Sweet Staceys, which is, as you can see from here on this table, I have tried these, delicious. She has these desserts, a bakery, and there are a number of options, and then they're unique. So Stacey, tell us about how you came about this company. We're sitting in her establishment right now. How did you come about this business?
Well, I've always known how to bake, and I would bake for others, and just wouldn't sell anything, just bake for others when they needed sweets or sweet treats or whatever, or to just, to bring a smile upon someone's face, to treat them to a nice treat or anything or something. But it came about when I was getting married. And when I was getting married, we were pricing the wedding cakes. And in my mind, I already knew how to make a cake. I just did not know how to decorate a cake. So when we were doing the pricing of the cakes, the way the baking industry is set up, they go about the attendance. Mm-hmm. How many people will be attending the function? Mm-hmm. And at that time, in attendance for the wedding, it was between 150 to 200. And with that head count, they came up with this price of $1,000, a little over $1,000. In my head, for some flour and sugar and a couple of eggs, that's what a cake is consist of.
Right.
And the math just wasn't mathing. So I already knew how to make a cake. I just didn't know how to decorate it. So with my thought process and my willingness, mm-hmm. the idea popped in my head, you're going to make your own wedding cake.
Mm. How did it turn out?
It turned out excellent. I took a couple of classes, and they showed me how to decorate the cakes.
Oh, wow.
And I made my own wedding cake.
So what did you take classes? In order to decorate the cake or know the final pieces?
I took classes in order to decorate the cake.
Oh, wow.
As soon as I got that price tag of over $1,000,
that was incentive.
That was it for me.
Okay.
That was it for me.
Okay, great. So now what I'd like to know, because I do have a little bit of Stacey's backstory, and that is the thing that is so compelling. Your actual establishment, your building, how did that come about for you to have the bakery space for Sweet Staceys?
Well, like I said, come about with the cake. I made the wedding cake, and with all of the Stacey, the cake is good. This is so good. You should be selling this. Why not? Why not sell it? But during the time that I was married, the bakery never was established. It never was established. It never. The idea came and left. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, I got a divorce, and in my singleness, that's when you spend time with yourself. You focus on self. A lot of praying was done, and when I came out of my prayer closet, the faith to just step on out there. You can do this. And that's how Sweet Stacey was established. I stepped out on faith, and I did the research, and I sold my house. I sold my home, my house, and with that cash flow that came in, I decided to just do it. And I did it. And when I did it, it wasn't easy. I was scared. I didn't have a clue of what I was doing. Didn't know where to start, but I had to start somewhere. I had a lot of conversations with my son to let him know this is what, this is my dream. And I always talk to him about his dreams and how he should pursue his dreams. But he never saw his mom pursue her dream. And I had to show him that you have to just step out and do it. Scared, alone, afraid, and just trust God and just do it. And when I opened I was looking around for different spaces to have the bakery, the establishment, and all the places, they were not affordable on my end. And I just went around one day writing down numbers of leases, spaces. And I stopped for a minute because I was overwhelmed because what they were asking for each month, it was not in my budget. And I didn't want to just jump out there and fail.
Right.
So I took a moment and just rested and got my thoughts together. And I thought about the numbers that I had wrote down. I said, Stacey, use those numbers that you wrote down. Call those store owners. And reach out to them. So I reached out to some of them, but I came across this location. Her name is Miss Susan. She gave me the rundown of the property. It was a barbershop, and it was just a clean slate. And she was excited about the idea of having a bakery in her space for the community. She was very excited about that. And her excitement made me more excited about the idea, and I knew that this was the right direction to move forward. And so, like I said, this space, it was an empty space, and from the floors to the paint to the sweat to the grits, my son and I, we put the floors down. I painted the walls, because why pay someone when you can do it yourself? And that's how I felt about that cake. I believe in myself. I feel like if you can do it, I can do it too. And anything can be Googled out there. And I found who all I need to reach out to get the license and talk to the city of Stockbridge. And with a lot of prayer and commitment, that's how this establishment came about.
So Stacey said a lot in this. So many areas, so many points, so many takeaways. The first one being, for me, that stands out, is you said you use the term self more than once in your singleness. And what that singleness, I'll put it that way, put you in a place of reflecting and thinking about self and what you truly wanted to do. Am I correct in saying that?
Absolutely. In my singleness, it gave me a lot of time to focus on my goals that I wasn't able to focus on when I was married. It was, you're married and you got a family, you got to do this, and you got to do that, and and not only that, people believing in me. They like the idea of it. They like the thought of it. But to actually just to give me that drive and that push, that was all God and me in that prayer closet. I had to believe in myself. And when the actual product came about, the establishment came about, that's when everybody was like, I knew you can do it. But it was after the fact.
Wow. But isn't it interesting, guys, that there's another term, there's self, and then there's this belief. And Stacey began to believe, get even more confidence. But it's just ironic and interesting that the people around, just a certain, even strangers, because the woman with this establishment, this particular building, she wasn't a friend of yours. The excitement and that good positive energy from others was a nudge. But you made a point. But it all came from in that closet. How so?
That closet, my prayer closet, that closet gives me strength. It gives me, the willpower to believe in myself, even when others did not believe in me. My relationship got stronger, and when it all came about, I never said I. It was always, to God be the glory. It was always Him. Because it was days when I did want to give up. It wasn't always easy. I didn't always have an answer. It was hard to find the answers. But you have to pray for wisdom. You have to pray for strategy. And you have to listen. You have to listen. And He will provide all the answers that you need if you have faith and you believe in Him.
Now, I hope that you all can feel what I'm feeling sitting here in front of Sweet Stacey. That's the brand, Stacey. Because based on what I'm hearing and what we're listening to, the bottom line is the antidote for such things materializing. Start with a base, listening, being still, wisdom, asking in the spiritual for directions. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What would be your advice? Now, I don't want for you to, necessarily say, okay, guys, this is for you, but based on your personal experience, what would be your thought for anyone else? Because although someone else had to, or not, other people were around that encouraged or gave you boosts of confidence along with or as a result of your spiritual and praying. What's happening now is you have become, whether you know it or not, sitting here right now you are, an encourager. You are encouraging. That's what you're doing. That's what's happening.
Thank you.
So what would be your thought process for anyone else?
My thought process for anyone else is, if there's anything out there that you want to pursue, a dream, a business, a book, anything that's out there, bet on yourself. Always bet on yourself. Even when no one else bets on you, bet on yourself. Because when you bet on yourself and you believe in yourself, you can push yourself. And when you bet on yourself, that dependence or depending on someone else is irrelevant. Because you put yourself out there, and I put myself out there, not by myself, but with God. And that's all that was needed. Because he says, he tells us each day that one of my favorite scriptures is, I can do all things by Christ who strengthens me. And he gives me the strength, and he will not only give me the strength, no respectable person, he will give you the strength to pursue your goals. And even if you fail, at least you tried. The only time you're really failing in this game is if you don't even try at all. So just go for it. Like I said, scared, afraid, alone, you will sleep good at night with no regrets, knowing that you gave yourself and betted on yourself. Gave yourself that try and that push to pursue the dreams that you always wanted to pursue.
Wow. Thank you for that. That is great advice for anyone, including me. So again, you have become an instrument, you have become a power based on your personal experience for anyone that is listening now, or even people that you come across as you go forward with the success. This is success. I'm going to grab one from the bag. These are good guys. I want to be clear. This is, I'm trying not to mess up this display here. This is a red velvet one. These are good. I'm putting them out there. Let me move my finger. So these are really, really good over here so you can see. Yeah. But this is real, right? This is a tangible situation here where Stacy, her company, Sweet Stacy. How can people find out about Sweet Stacy's? What's the website?
The website is www.sweetstaceys.com. The location is 2570 Highway 42 North, McDonough, Georgia, 30253. I also have Instagram.
Okay, on your Instagram.
Instagram is sweet_Staceys.
Okay.
My son also did my son and my niece, they helped me do a TikTok.
TikTok, okay.
Because they're the young ones, they can do the TikToks. That's Stacy, Sweet Staceys. And I'm also on Facebook.
Okay.
And with Facebook, it's Sweet Staceys as well.
Sweet Staceys. Sweet, as in, these are sweet and Staceys. STACEYS. Sweet Staceys. These are real. And I'm holding up here to make sure and put them out front. These are real as a result of the formula. And as you put it, betting on self, actually pursuing your dreams and seeing what can happen. Stacy, what I'd like to know is, do you think it's possible? Because you did say in that the divorce, I just want to talk on this a little bit, that you ended up getting a divorce. But I spoke with you a little bit about this, and what you shared was something that was very light-spirited. There was no bitterness, no anger. I'm talking about where you are at this place. And what you said is just something, and I'm paraphrasing. It was something to the effect of, he's a great guy, he's just not the husband for me, or something like that.
Correct.
Okay. And so that mindset, tell me about that. What is that? He's a great guy, he's just not the husband for me. And you're light-spirited about it.
Yes, because like I said, he's a great guy. He just wasn't the guy for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the type of person, I pray daily. And when I ask God to forgive me through the day, and I know He forgives me. So just like He forgives me, I had to forgive Him. It's not an option. You have to forgive people. You have to forgive people so that bitterness won't build up. And once you free yourself from bitterness or, that healing stage, you can focus more.
Wow.
And once you're focused, you see nothing but your dream, and you go forward.
Wow.
You go forward.
So hanging on to negativity or hanging on to hurts and pains, ultimately hanging on to that hinders. Is what hinders and sets you back.
Exactly.
Wow. And so now, the other component that I wanted to just touch on a little bit, do you think it's possible for, in your singleness is where you propelled and you said, oh, the other piece, here's another point. You sold your house.
I sold
Yeah, let me
house.
how you sold your house.
Yes.
And so you sold your house to either to start your business and start your business. Was it you sold your house to have the capital to start your business? Is that what?
That's absolutely correct.
She sold her house to start her business. That in itself that's it. That's drop the mic action, because you were not talking about it. No, you did it. And where there was no investor or no funding or loan or whatever, no, I'm going to get this capital and this is how I'm going to do it. Apparently, you felt is not, what is the greater of the two for me? I'm still going to have residence. The greater of the two is not to have the big house, but instead my business and still have comfortable residence. You tell me. I'm just assuming, because it sounds like
that you're absolutely correct. Sometimes you have to downsize to go for what you want.
Mm.
And when you go for what you want, it can bring it back to you.
Indeed. And here's what she means by that. You can have a piece of property or have something, but there's something else that you want to do. It's in your heart. This is my take. It's in your heart. It's in your mind. And whatever that thing is that's in your heart, it's in your mind, it will yield the profit to buy 2 or 3 of whatever you once had.
Absolutely.
Any words for our guests that you have on your mind right now that you'd like to share?
The only words that I would have is that once you do pursue your goal, pursue it with excellence.
Mm.
Pursue it with excellence. Don't get too comfortable or lax, because each morning I get up and I bake fresh every day. And that's one of my trademarks here at Sweet Staceys, the freshness of my product. And each customer, they have so many compliments about the freshness of the product. So when you do pursue your goal or pursue your dreams, remember to keep the excellence in there.
Go to sweetstaceys.com to get the location. But when you come in to visit, as soon as you walk in the door, the aroma, oh my God, I'm sitting in it right now. Guys, thank you for joining us. And Stacey, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm getting ready to eat this cupcake. I don't know what it's